Hey, everybody. Welcome to If You Don't Like That. Hope that you are having a good day and a good evening. NBA Finals will resume tomorrow. Rhino will be joining me right after the game. We'll have our post-game show. And then on Thursday, I am having the director of the E60 documentary, Heart of Pearl, the phenomenal documentary that they have done on Scott Pollard, including being in the operating room when he received his new heart. Very powerful. I had a chance to watch it in a private screening yesterday, and it's amazing. So that's going to be Thursday at 5 o'clock right here on If You Don't Like That. All right. My dark horse to win at Oakmont. I am going to say Oberg. I'm going to say that's my dark horse. He's played well at the Masters. Here's the deal. Have you seen the rough? Have you seen the rough? But I'm going to say Ludwig Oberg. Have you seen the rough at Oakmont? I mean, if you don't have spotters, you would lose your ball. I've never seen anything like it. So you better hit the fairway. You better hit the fairway. That's all I can say. It's unbelievable. So I'm going to say Ludwig Oberg, my dark horse. You asked me for a dark horse, there it is. I mean, obviously, a lot of people saying Scheffler, McIlroy. Here's the problem with Scheffler and McIlroy right now on this course. Scotty's been erratic. Even though he's been winning, he's recovered from drives that have missed a fairway. You're not going to be able to do that at Oakmont. It will cost you a stroke. It will cost you a stroke. So it's all about driving accuracy beginning on Thursday, round one at Oakmont. But we'll see. I'll be watching like everyone else. What has not been happening, and it is no surprise based on what critics have been talking about, is the NBA Finals have been poorly viewed. The game two, let me get these numbers here. The game two, worst viewed game, not counting the bubble, since 2007. It's a long time ago. Think about that. 2007. That's how poorly viewed game two was. So the experts so far are spot on. Games 1 and 2, the numbers are way down for the NBA Finals. All right, glad to have you with us here on If You Don't Like That. So I was asked about this yesterday. I didn't know what people were referring to, and then I watched the video of Demarcus Cousins in Puerto Rico, and there's nothing that I saw in the video that surprised me. There's nothing that I saw in the video that I haven't seen before. There's nothing in the video that even made me raise my eyebrows. That's who he is. He's a bully. And he's a fake tough guy. He never fights. He only appears that he wants to fight, but he's never going to fight. He's a bully. He picks on people. He's a bully. Zach Randolph said it best at a game in New Orleans when he was playing for Sacramento and Cousins was playing for New Orleans, and Cousins was trying to bully everyone. And they were at the foul line. And Zach said, where I come from, bullies get bullied. Spot on. I mean, the guy's a bully. There's just no other way to say it. I would say Should be good. 1 2 1 2. 1 2 1 2. It says I'm fine, but still no audio, huh? So damn frustrating. So frustrating. I appreciate everybody chiming in though and trying to, get everything going here. No sound, huh? So frustrating. Are we good? Because I really want to get into this. All right. All right. Good now. Thank you. So, as I'm losing my train of thought here, people want to be attached with celebrities. I've seen it all the time. I've experienced it. Not that I'm a celebrity, but I've experienced it on a smaller level. But I've seen a lot of the fans that I know personally and some that I don't know, who are extremely wealthy too, that gravitate towards Demarcus Cousins because he's a star. And they put their own ethics and values and morals in the back seat as if it doesn't matter to them because they're hanging out with a professional athlete. And so when he's demeaning the women, when he's heard on a phone call threatening to put a bullet in the head of his baby mama, when he continually bullies people, when he is unbelievably profane to fans, those individuals that I'm referring to turn their head. And then they want to talk about, oh, gee, he dressed up as Santa Claus and handed out toys at the local store during Christmas. Oh, he's so good for the community. Oh, he's this and that. But they put their own values aside. They put their own values aside. Things that they would never tolerate within their own family. Things that they would never, ever tolerate for a man saying things that he has said to women. Those individuals that I'm referring to would never tolerate that. But with him, they just turn their head the other way and they kiss his ass. And I've never understood it. I've never understood it. I really haven't. The guy is a bully, has always been a bully. I was not afraid to go on the radio every day and tell you that when I saw instances of his bullying. It's a joke. He even intimidated the media. Jason Jones, who in my opinion, in all the years of covering the Sacramento Kings, was by far the most inexperienced and out of place beat writer that I've ever seen. So much so that coaches and front office people, we used to sit around and make fun of the guy because he was that inept. And I remember being in the locker room, outside the locker room in San Antonio, waiting for, I think Dave Yeager was the coach at the time, to come out for his post-game presser. And DeMarcus had been ejected and I said to him, I go, did you see what DeMarcus said to that lady as he was leaving the court? He goes, yeah, I saw it. I was right there. I heard everything. Are you going to put it in the paper? You know I can't do that. If I do that, he'll never talk to me again. Again, he intimidated even members of the media. Can you imagine a beat writer in Chicago or Boston or Philadelphia or New York not putting something in the paper because they were afraid of the player not talking to them anymore? I mean, come on, really? But that happened all the time. Happened all the time. I saw it with my own eyes. It was horrible. Ask Jim Crandall. Jim would never lie to you. He saw it all the time. He'll be as honest as you. Jim doesn't have a lie in his body. Ask Brian May when he was the sports director at Channel 10. He'll tell you. Everyone knows it. Everyone saw it. And it just went on and on and on. So as far as Demarcus Cousins and what happened in Puerto Rico, as I said, there's nothing that I saw that surprised me. The guy is a bully. He's a bully. Plain and simple. All right. What do you think about the NBA Finals? All right. Sorry, I'm just getting back to about my audio. What do you think? Do you think that Oklahoma City will win one of these next two games? I think they will. I wouldn't be surprised if they win both games. All right. I would not be surprised at all. I think they're a better team. I'd like to see Indiana win this series, to be quite honest with you. I really would. I would like to see it. But I just look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and I look at the Thunder lineup, and I just think they're better. But I also think Indiana's playing too well at this juncture of the season to just lose 4 games in a row. So I hope they do split the 2 games in Indianapolis. I hope they're better games than what we've seen. Even game 1 to me was not a good game, even though it came down to the final minute. So I hope we get better games. I really do. All right, Stanley Cup playoffs. Florida dominating Edmonton in a very rough game last night. They will take the days off and they will get together and play on Thursday night in Florida for a game 3. Again, the U.S. Open begins on Thursday. Also on Thursday right here, if you don't like that, Dan Lindbergh, the director of Heart of Pearl, the documentary E60 on Scott Pollard. It's very powerful. I had a chance to see it, and it's worth watching. Trust me. It's worth watching. It's phenomenal. It really is. Phenomenal. Tell you what else is phenomenal. Bennett's Prime Seafood and Steak. What are you doing for Father's Day? Got an idea. How about Bennett's? Go to bennettsrestaurants.com to make a reservation. What about graduations? Again, Bennett's, perfect locale. Don't forget about their weekend brunch. Prime Seafood and Steaks. Go to bennettsrestaurants.com. That's bennettsrestaurants.com. Say hello to everyone for us. Love their support. Sacramento, Roseville, the West Side Grill in Rockland, bennettsrestaurants.com. Glad to have you with us right here on If You Don't Like That. Again, the post-game show tomorrow after Game 3. Rhino will be right here. We'll break it down. We'll take your phone calls. That's coming up after the game tomorrow. And then, as I said, on Thursday, we'll have a fun show with Dan Lindbergh. We'll talk about the E60, and we'll get you right into the weekend on If You Don't Like That. I hope that you are going to have a fabulous Father's Day. U.S. Open, Father's Day. It's freaking awesome. Love it. Absolutely love it. The U.S. Open, I can't get enough of the U.S. Open. I love watching golf where it is hard to make par. Or let me rephrase that. That I love where making par is a good score. All right. BJ said, I'm really liking the hockey lately. Never watched it until the NBA All-Star break. Yeah, it's pretty phenomenal, isn't it? Pretty amazing. I love it. I can't get enough of it. I love everything about it. I love the way they beat the hell out of each other for 4 to 7 games and then line up and shake hands and congratulate each other. I like how they dress. They're professional. I like how they speak to the media, professional. I like how they don't complain over things such as wearing suits and sport coats to games and the skate-arounds and on the airplane. Like, they don't complain. They want to be a professional. They accept the culture of the sport. I love it. There's nothing about it I don't like. I love it. It's great. Paul says, not only do we have to suffer a worthless owner, but when we do it right and get a star caliber player, He turns out to be a prick. Give me a break. Scotty's the easy pick this week. I'm taking Shane Lowry. Shane's been playing very well this year. Seems like he's on the leaderboard in every single tournament. I like Shane. Yeah, I could see that happening. I could see that happening. Again, McIlroy, the way he's been driving a ball the last 2 weeks, if that happens at Oakmont, he's done. You can't miss the fairway at Oakmont. You just can't. Just can't. You can't. You have to hit the fairway on that course. All right, again, if you want to call the show, let me put the link up for you. All right. You got it over my shoulder. Don't forget that. Or click on this link right here, and we'll put you on. We can talk about anything else that you want here on this Tuesday. The one thing I want to go back to on the opening of the show, and I know we had a little audio problems, is I've never understood why you would put your own values and your own morals aside to kiss the ass of somebody that does not align with your beliefs. And if you really wanted to have a private moment with yourself, find their actions disgusting. And yet, because the person's well known, whether it's an actor or a professional athlete, you put all of that aside. Oh, look who I'm with. I'm friends with this person. Why would you do that? Like, don't you have any values, ethics? I mean, why? Why would you do that? Seriously. Never understood that. Never understood that. And I know people that do that. And I just don't understand it. Oh, yeah, but he did this and he did that. I'm like, yeah, I understand. So if you shoot somebody, but you gave millions of dollars to charity, does that make it okay? If you sexually assault somebody one time, but 99% of the time, everything else you did was great, do you say, oh, that's okay? Huh? Come on. Amazing. I find it so sad to wrap up this part of this conversation. I just find it sad. And I don't get it. And here's something else. About turning your head, right? How many people see something that they know is blatantly wrong, that appalls them, and they remain silent? MLK, one of his great sayings ever. Our lives begin to end the day we remain silent about things that matter. There you have it. Period. All right? Period. All right, let's get back to the games. Game 3, what do you think needs to happen? I think, first of all, the Pacers got to get off to a good start. I don't think Oklahoma City is going to be fazed by the crowd. It might have an impact for the Pacers, but it won't be it's not going to throw Oklahoma City off kilter for more than a couple of moments. And, listen, Indiana could win the game tomorrow, but I don't see them winning both games at home. I mean, if you remember, at the Western Conference Finals, Oklahoma City looked dominant in games 1 and 2, and they went to Minneapolis and they got their doors blown off in game 3. I mean, they were down by 40-plus points. I mean, it wasn't even a game. And then in game 4, they came back and found themselves. So I could see that happening here where one team's off, but I hope it's a split. I really do. I hope it's a split. And I hope that this series turns out to be a good series, because through the first 2 games, it has not been that. Said Halliburton needs a monster game. Yes, he does. So does Siakam. I mean, you're going to beat Oklahoma City, if you beat them, it's going to take a group effort. It's not going to be just one guy. It is going to take a group effort. You're going to have to do it. And they're big players, Halliburton, Siakam, obviously, Turner. I mean, all of these players, they're all going to have to, they're going to have to play an A game. We know that. I mean, Oklahoma City didn't win 68 games by mistake. They did not win 68 games by mistake. So I hope that we have a more competitive series, even though it is tied at 1 game apiece. Patrick says there's more Knick talk now on local radio than when they were playing. That's interesting to me. I mean, I know everyone's still talking about Tom Thibodeau, and as I told you a couple of days ago what the real story was, Leon Rose, the president of the Knicks, did not have anything to do. He wanted Tom Thibodeau. He's aligned with Tom Thibodeau. He's not the one that wanted Tibbs out. It was an assistant executive, Wes, and James Dolan. That's what happened. I mean, I don't know how you fire a guy who's 2 wins away from an NBA Finals and just reached the most success that the franchise has had in 25 years. Like, I don't understand that. I really don't. I don't get that. And again, it wasn't Leon Rose, it was James Dolan. And that's why the Knicks are the Knicks. And whoever the coach is, whether it's Jason Kidd or somebody else, they're in for a really difficult time if they don't at least make the Eastern Conference Finals next year. And good luck with that. Good luck with that. Bosch says if the Pacers can get Turner involved early in the game offensively, that would put OKC's big men on their heels. That's important. There's no doubt about that. Patrick, they say just like the Kings. We don't want to torture Patrick. We don't want to do that to Patrick. We like Patrick. We don't want to do that to him. Rumors are rampant, players, coaches, etc. No one knows. I know, Patrick. I do know. I know with 100% certainty. I know exactly what happened. Trust me when I tell you that. I know exactly what happened. James Dolan never liked Tom Thibodeau. Never. Has wanted to get rid of him and finally just said, okay, to Leon, okay, all right, but this is what needs to happen. Dolan's never liked Tibbs. Patrick, trust me when I tell you this. I know exactly what happened. And what I just told you happened. That's the real story. Yeah, it is amazing all the coaches that got fired just before the playoffs. I mean, it really is. It is incredible. There are a lot of really good coaching candidates that are available right now, which, again, is another reason why it makes no sense to me. But, again, because we're talking about Vivek Ranadive, it doesn't need to make sense. That you would not at least wait and explore other options other than Doug Christie. Like, it makes 0 sense to me. But that's where you're at. You know, that's where you're at. And that's why the Kings are where the Kings are. There's a reason. It turns casual viewers off once they get used to a coach, player, etc. Well, here's what turns fans on. Winning. And the Knicks were in the Eastern Conference Finals this year for the first time in 25 years. Did you see the atmosphere at Madison Square Garden? They were 2 wins away from the finals. That's what turns viewers on. Tibbs did that. That's what the fans want. Fans don't care what's going on behind the scenes. That's what they want. That's what they want. You got to be open to that. I mean, that's what you play the games for, right? To win. Hey, don't forget about New Works Plumbing. They've got a fix for you. They're available around the clock 24/7. Give them a call. Their website or newworksplumbing.com, NEWWRXplumbing.com. New Works Plumbing, they've got a fix for you. I mean, Look at what the Warriors fans tolerate with Draymond Green. You think that fan base would tolerate Draymond Green if they were losing and didn't have all those championships? Hell no. No. Absolutely not. And I'll tell you something else. For all of the Demarcus Cousins detractors out there, and I'm one of them, had the Kings won with him, you would have probably gotten excited and would have also said, oh, it's okay with what he's doing on the court and all the foul gestures and all the suspensions and cursing out his coaches. You probably would have been okay with that because, unfortunately, that's what fans do. Just like in San Francisco with Barry Bonds, they treat the guy like a god, even though they know he cheated. Doesn't matter. He cheated for my team, so it's okay. Just the way it is, right? It's just the way it is. And I don't know if that's going to change during my lifetime. I would say no. I would say no. Speaking of Dave Yeager, what is he doing now? He showed me that he was an adaptable coach, total roster philosophy change in the middle of the season. Yeags is the assistant in Milwaukee with Doc Rivers. I don't know if he's going to be back this year, but that is the case. Can't stand Demarcus Cousins, was never a fan of him. Such a crybaby, thinking he was entitled. Yep. Screw Boogie. Yep. Yes, I led the show with that, Matthew. I led the show with that. Luckily, Draymond has Steph Curry. So very true. But again, do you think that if the Warriors were missing the playoffs every year or being eliminated in the first round every year, that Draymond would have the same love and affection from the Warriors fans? Ask yourself that question. No, they would have moved him. They would have gotten rid of him. Right? Of course they would have. Of course they would have. There's no question they would have not held on to him. He's been a constant pain in the ass to the organization. And they keep him because he helps them win. And they tolerate his behavior because he helps them win. And they tolerate his embarrassing the franchise on a regular basis because he helps them succeed. That's it. I've been reading Chris Webber's book. What did you think of his book? I wouldn't even look at this book, let alone read it, because the guy's a liar. So I can't read someone's book who's a chronic liar, and everyone that knows him knows that he's a liar. I don't know why anyone would read Chris Webber's book. I mean that. I don't know why anyone would read Chris Webber's book. I've been around a lot of professional athletes in my career, going all the way back to the mid-'80s, covering the Bears, the Cubs, the Tigers, the St. Louis Cardinals. And I've seen a lot of frauds. Chris Webber's near the top of the list. And he's a liar. So why would I want to read the book of a guy that's a chronic liar? The guy lies all the time. So if you want to read the book, go ahead, enjoy it. But I wouldn't even open up the cover of the book. No. Seriously. And I keep on getting messages on my phone about the rumors going around with him and Doug and Jackie Christie. I'm just going to say this. I'm not, and again, this is a response to all the people on social media. And I got a response on this show yesterday. I'm not going to explore or converse in a topic of this nature without having the facts in front of me. I'm not going to be the National Enquirer. It's not what I'm going to do here. I'm okay if you ask me about it, but my answer is I don't have enough information and I don't know what's true. and what's not true. And the allegations that are out there are unbelievably serious, life-altering, embarrassing, sad, and you hope that they're not true. You hope that they're not true. Regardless of how I feel about any individual, I hope it's not true, but that's all I'm going to comment on it. Draymond is similar to Rodman. You put up with it because he wins you ball games. Demarcus, I don't know what the rest of that said. Said, we were so close to giving Cousins his fat contract. Luckily, Vladdy saw it was time for a cultural change. Vladdy saw it was time for a cultural change 5 minutes after he met Demarcus Cousins. Unfortunately, he kept on being rejected by the owner until it got to a point where they didn't really have a choice. So that's what happened. That's exactly what happened. Reality versus drama. And that's that you hit it right on the head. I don't know what's reality and I don't know what's drama. I don't know what's fact. I don't know what's fiction, because we live in a world of AI. We live in a world of gossip. We live in a world of social media. So I don't know. I'm going to wait. Again, I just hope it's not true. Regardless of my feelings for certain individuals, I hope the story's not true. Said Demarcus was mentally soft and would quit when things were tough. I think the guy's bipolar, to be honest with you. And I'm not a doctor, and I would not even be able to define bipolar in the medical sense, but I can tell you what it is in layman terms, as you could to me. That's what I think. I think the guy's bipolar. Could I be wrong? Yeah, I could be wrong, but that's what I think. I think the guy is bipolar. I think he's got split personalities. All right. Hey, Sunrise Landing in Calusa. CalusaSunrise.com. Get you all the information you need on this Blazona development project adjacent to the Calusa Golf and Country Club. Great access. I-5, Highway 45, Highway 20. No Mellorews, no homeowners. That's Sunrise Landing in Calusa. You go to CalusaSunrise.com. That's CalusaSunrise.com. And again, for those of you that might be joining us a little bit late, post-game show tomorrow, Rhino will join me. Then Thursday, 5 o'clock, not 8 o'clock, 5 o'clock, I will have the director from the E60 Heart of Pearl documentary on Scott Pollard. It's a tearjerker. I'm just warning you. It will debut on Father's Day. We'll talk to the director, Dan Lindbergh, Thursday right here at 5 o'clock. It's an amazing story. And I have been very open about that experience of being in Scott's ICU room hours after he received this new heart. Can't even begin to put into words what that was like. But that is coming up on Thursday at 5 o'clock. All right? 5 o'clock right here. If you don't like that, that should make you happy, Patrick. You don't have to stay up too late. All right? I feel bad. My grandparents are going to see AI and not flying cars. Just driverless cars, pretty much. Yep. It's a new world, isn't it? It's a new world. Is Mike Bibby going to make Sac State relevant and get them to the tournament? Let's hope so. I hope so. I watched the video of Cousins getting ejected and fans were throwing drinks on him. And if I'm spit on or drinks thrown at me, I don't know how I would react either. Words I can handle, not react, but drinks. Well, did you see what Demarcus did, first of all, to the fan sitting down? Did you see that? And did you see that when Demarcus Cousins was leaving the court? Did you see him swipe at the fan who eventually threw the drink on him? Why did Demarcus do that? He's the one that instigated it, not the fans, based on the video that I saw. I'm not saying that the fans are right for subsequently throwing beer on him and food. I don't think that's right. But Demarcus instigated the whole damn thing. I mean, sorry, but that's the truth. I know, Patrick. I got you, buddy. I got you. Don't worry about Mike Bibby. Mike will be fine. Mike's a go-getter. Mike will get it done. Will he go to the tournament? I mean, I don't know. Going to the NCAA tournament's not easy, right? For a school like Sacramento State. I'm a big Mike Bibby fan. I'm rooting for him, and I hope that he succeeds. I hope he succeeds. All right, don't forget, tomorrow, post-game show. After game 3, right here on If You Don't Like That, Ryan and Sacktown and yours truly, right after the game. So we'll break it down. We'll take your phone calls, your messages. Thursday, Dan Lindbergh, the director from Heart of Pearl, the E60 documentary on Scott Pollard, and we'll wrap up the show in the week, or excuse me, we'll wrap up the week on Friday. Appreciate you all. Thank you very much. And if you missed Jerry Reynolds on with Rhino and Sacktown today, go and watch it at your leisure on this channel, his platforms. It's all there. Jerry Reynolds, each and every Tuesday with Rhino right here on If You Don't Like That. All right. Appreciate you. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye now.